Baltimore has another violent weekend with 12 people shot. Oprah backtracks on a documentary featuring Russell Simmons' accusers. Plus, Harry and Meghan have a royal showdown. That and much more today on The Diamond K Show. Episode 387. Welcome back to The Diamond K Show here on Radio on Fire. My name is Diamond K. Thank you for joining me. 12 people were shot and 5 killed in multiple incidents in Baltimore over the weekend. On the Baltimore Police Department's Facebook page, they detailed a series of shootings that took place throughout the city. Now, while city leaders are scrambling to find solutions to the violence, one clear strategy that they can see is their war on plastic bags. Nikki, in here with me. How you doing, Nikki?
I'm good.
So Baltimore City can't do anything with the violence, and I understand that it's not an easy task, but they seem focused on plastic bags and ending that. At the aquarium yesterday, there was an event, and Jack Young approved a bill that bans stores from using plastic bags and epissue a 5-cent fee for other bags. They're really coming down on this, epidemic. What's ironic to me is when I hear people talk about plastic bags, and I hear people talking about it with passion. It kills the fish and the kid, all that kind of stuff, and this is true. It doesn't break down, but they're more distraught over the fishies that we could potentially lose because of plastic bags, more so than the violence in the city, because nothing seems to happen about it. What do you think? Is it me? Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy, but I think they look at the plastic bag issue as something they can do something about.
Okay,
you know how
we
you
just give up on the violence.
You make small goals and you have larger ones. So
okay.
You map milestones. So it's like, okay, you make a list of things you want to make better in the city, and this was on the list, and this was most attainable at the time, and now that's done. Check it off the list.
Okay, so I'm a priorities person. Okay, the priorities of the politicians in Baltimore City seem to be out of whack. So for me, you're gonna make a list, right? Boom, all the stuff, and then you put the number 1, 2, 3, etc. down as far as level of importance. Right. Every time I hear the mayor speak about the violence that's plaguing Baltimore, there's never any concrete plans, never any solutions, never any ideas that make sense to me. Talking about Jack Young. Okay. Who surprisingly is actually going to run for office. I can't believe why.
What?
Why would he? Yeah, he's running for office. Why?
He doesn't even like the job.
That's clear.
He never shows up. Why would he do that?
Yeah,
why would he waste our time?
Because he's like, I get security. I get a black van. You know what I mean?
So
and they give me all these jelly beans. I don't know why he's enjoying playing mayor.
But he doesn't like to be in the public eye. I've heard that said like numerous times about him.
Definitely.
Why would he run? That doesn't even make sense. That's baffling. Right? I don't understand.
Yeah. I'm tired of empty rhetoric and excuses from City Hall. We need responsible, ethical leadership in Baltimore City. Someone has to take the reins. Baltimore is heading towards an iceberg, right? And I can see the iceberg, and everybody else can see the iceberg, but the person at the wheel is looking the opposite way. If things doesn't change pretty soon, we are going to crash. Okay. We're going to crash. Titanic style. Right? It's imperative for people to get out and vote. Here in Maryland, we have 2 critical elections on the horizon. One is February the 4th. That's the one to replace the late Elijah Cummings in Congress. The other one is April the 28th. That's for the president, for the mayor, city council, et cetera, et cetera. Schools in Maryland's 7th Congressional District will be closed on February 4th as voters head to the polls. They need the schools, right? Can't have the kids in there while they're trying to vote. All schools will be closed for the primary election, which is the one that's on April the 28th. So it's very important for people to vote. No?
Definitely. Absolutely.
And when I tell people to vote, and they'll say that doesn't election, whoever in office doesn't affect me, affect my life. These local elections, all politics are local. The local elections directly affect you. Mm-hmm. There's no Russians trying to get Jack Young in office or nothing like that. Right. So the presidency, okay, that's one thing. Mm-hmm. But these local elections, you need to participate in those. Those are critical, and those affect us specifically. No?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, specifically and directly and indirectly.
Directly, specifically, and all of that. Indirectly and directly. All of that. Yes. But you are listening to the Don McKay Show here on Radio on Fire. Stay tuned. We will be back after this. So on the other side of the break, I was talking about voting, how important it is for people to vote. Now, what I have seen, of course, election time, you have an influx of candidates at various levels in the game, right? And so have you seen some of the candidates say, well, they didn't invite me to the town hall. They didn't invite me to the debate. Why they got those people there? They not even registered. You've heard people say that?
I have.
So what I want to do now is I want to provide some free advice for up-and-coming politicians, candidates, as to why. Why is this done this way? There's a lot of people doing this way. There are a lot of mainstream candidates who have not actually filed their paperwork yet, okay? And there's a reason for that, and I'm going to explain that. For instance, Sheila Dixon has not filed her paperwork yet.
Really?
She's going to file her paperwork in the next few days. Okay?
Wow. Okay.
A lot of people have not filed the paperwork. They're officially not running, but they're doing a public campaign. They're talking about it. They're going out and they're shaking hands and kissing babies. They're holding up signs. They got buttons and all that kind of pins, T-shirts, and knocking on doors, and they're doing all these things. But to the novice politician, they say, I don't understand. I saw a post from a gentleman, and he said that he is, all the people on the stage, hadn't registered, or why did nobody invite him? And he said he took his last $150 to register, and he was the first person to register, and people in the media ignores him. And for people like that, for people that feel that because someone has not filed the paperwork, they're not officially running, I'm going to explain to them the very important reason why it's done that way. Okay? Here's why. Once you file your paperwork, once you take your $150 and give it to the Board of Elections to start your mayoral campaign, other offices are cheaper than that, but that specifically doesn't matter. Whenever you file your paperwork, the timer starts. You have to start with the accounting. That's the very important thing, the accounting. So the gentleman that said he was the first person to run, he signed up last year sometime, he's had to do accounting. And accounting is something that the Board of Elections got to do paperwork. Your treasurer has to tell money sources, and there's a lot of details that have to happen. Okay, that starts once you file your paperwork. So some of the more savvy candidates, they haven't filed their paperwork yet because they don't want to have to do that accounting. You won't be liable to start talking about these things until you have to file the paperwork. Once you do that, then there's more paperwork to do, so they can focus on some of the other things. This is mainly an action that has to happen in the public. You're trying to raise awareness for your campaign, for your platform, for the issues that are important to you. That's the main thing. Paperwork, you can file the paperwork as long as you do it just before the deadline. And the deadline is the 20-something of this month. So you're going to see most of the candidates that have some season that are filing right around this time, because they didn't want to have to worry about doing that other stuff. And it can be tedious. It can be tedious. It's that pain in the butt.
I can imagine.
Pain in the neck. I'm telling you.
I can imagine.
Pain in the neck. All right. So that's why. The main thing that you need to do is get your stuff out. They'll take pictures and say, "Oh, I filed." People don't care about that. That's not the big thing. That's some behind the scenes stuff. That's some behind the curtain stuff. That part doesn't matter as much as getting your platform out there. What are you talking about? People are like, okay, you such and such file. Okay, who is he? That's the next question they're going to say. Okay, you filed. Who is he? I don't know him. That's what they're going to say. Who's that? I don't know her. Who is she? Right?
Okay.
Those are the people you need to focus on that stuff. That $150 that he spent, whenever he spent it, would have been better served in promotion, marketing, campaigning, whatever you want to call it, right? You could have spent that $150 this Friday. You could have. It's all right, but I wanted to put that out there. People just tuning in. Radio on Fire. Your man Dominic in here. Nikki also in the building. How you doing, Nikki?
Good.
All right. So you like Oprah Winfrey?
She's cool. She all right.
She's cool. Oh! I thought all women like. There's white women or white women like Oprah.
Exactly.
Is that it?
Yes.
All right. So Oprah Winfrey has been getting a lot of backlash, as she should. I have given her backlash on this very show. Did I ever tell you this? I lost a friendship over Oprah once.
Do tell why. Do tell us the story.
Yeah.
Like, what
so there's a girl that I know named Erica. Okay. And Erica does not speak to me currently.
Okay.
Why does Erica not speak to me?
Yeah,
because
why?
of some things that I said about Oprah Winfrey. All right. And here's the thing. It wasn't even in the context of the show. Okay. All right. This was about 2008. We were on the phone having a conversation. And I said something. I don't know how we got on Oprah, but I said something about Oprah and Gail's relationship seemed very strange to me. And I thought that there was more to it. And I said that Gail does things to get special favors and jobs that she wouldn't normally have gotten, right? I was halfway joking, but I was halfway serious, right? I said that it's very strange that Stedman doesn't sleep in the main quarters, that he got someplace outside on the grounds, but he don't sleep in the house.
Right, you and I have talked about that.
Yeah, and I said that Stedman just comes out for the events, and then he lived their own separate lives, right? And she got very upset with me because she felt like I was insinuating that Oprah and Gail had something else going on. Like, I didn't invent that. That's been out there for a long time, right?
Right.
And whether it's true or whether it's not true, it doesn't really matter. I told Erica that I respected Oprah, but this part seemed strange to me. And at the time, this was around the time, and I think I do remember what brought it up now. This was around the time when Oprah went with Jay-Z, and she did an interview with Jay-Z in his neighborhood. Do you remember this?
No.
She had never talked to any rappers.
Okay.
And this was like the first time she was talking to a rapper.
Okay.
And she was saying that she didn't like talking to rappers, and he was different, and you know what I mean? And a lot of people took offense to it. I also took offense to it. And when I look at Oprah in her totality, as far as when she said rapper, what she really meant was black man. To me, she meant black man, right?
Okay.
Because most of the times when we've seen Oprah, she's tearing down a black man, right? Okay. Her show was not geared towards black men. That wasn't the audience she was shooting at, right?
True.
She was never, the focus was never black men. She's not married to a black man. I don't know Stedman's,
ethnicity.
Yeah, but, maybe that's why he don't get to sleep in the house. I don't know what it is. All right, what she has against black men. But she has participated in what I find to be treacherously tearing down friends. People that have been friendly with her. People we've seen her. Michael Jackson. And I've talked about this in previous shows. The Michael Jackson interview with Oprah back in the early 90s is the most watched interview of all time. Mm-hmm. Michael Jackson did that for her. He could have took that. He could have took that to Barbara Walters or whoever was hot at the time. You know what I mean? But he took it to Oprah because he thought Oprah was his sister, right?
Right.
She was not. Now, Oprah participated in that debacle about Michael Jackson that HBO ran. And that surprised me. But as she has continued, if she kept it fair, right? Harvey Weinstein, she ain't had nothing to say about that. Why? That's her friend. That's her white buddy. Whatever. Obviously, Harvey Weinstein has done some things for her, or she's been instructed not to speak. Whatever it is. But what did bother me is she was executive producing a documentary that was going to feature women who have accused Russell Simmons, one of her friends, of sexual misconduct. Did you hear about this?
No, actually, not until we talked about it.
Yeah. So they're working on a film, and Oprah wanted it to be on Apple TV Plus. So Apple TV has a subscription service, and this documentary was going to be something that she was going to try to get on there. However, that's what she wanted to do with it. However, the filmmakers, they wanted to do something else with it. And what they wanted to do is they wanted to premiere the film at the Sundance Film Festival. Okay? That's a big, you've heard of the Sundance Film Festival before,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
A lot of films that you see premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. Now, what happens at the Sundance Film Festival, for starters, is at the end of this month. This is a place where films go, and a lot of film companies, streaming services, what have you, go there and pick up films. Sign agreements to distribute them, rework, different things. And they wanted this film to premiere there. So Oprah said, we need more work needs to be done to this film. She just didn't want it to go there. Why? Why didn't she want it to go there? Why is she not executive producing this documentary anymore? I'm going to tell you why. It's because of her greed and the fact that she wanted to control the distribution of this documentary. She wanted, don't give her she gets no credit for this. What she wanted was the documentary to come out on Apple TV Plus. That's what she wanted to happen. Them putting it at the Sundance Film Festival showed that they wanted this to be open for other people to be able to bid. What? Lionsgate, or not Lionsgate, but whoever else. Anybody else want to get involved in this? MGM? Y'all want some of this? Whoever. Netflix, you want some of this? We're going to show it here. And when they did that, Apple TV Plus like, oh, hey, Oprah, what's up with your mans? What's up with your mans in them? Right?
Right.
I thought we was going to have this documentary. Oprah like, no, hold on a second. Let me go call up the directors and see what's going on, right? So last week she announced that she's walking away from the project and that Apple TV Plus would no longer distribute the film because of creative differences with the filmmaker, whose name is Amy, and the partner's name is Kirby. All right, so it's a man and woman, right? Winfrey also said that the team is rushing the film to premiere it at the Sundance Film Festival. So she's trying to throw a little bit of shade, ironically, on a project that's throwing nothing but shade, right?
Right, yeah, that is ironic.
So Oprah Winfrey is one of the highest, and she's probably the highest profile star that Apple has managed to get on their roster. She's a part of the team, right? So this is a Time's Up documentary that was supposed to go on Apple TV Plus. But to me, the fact that they wanted to put it at the Sundance shows that they wanted to entertain some other offers. Okay? Now, this documentary centers on sexual allegations that were leveled against Russell Simmons by a former music executive named Drew Dixon. Okay? Now, she accused Simmons of raping her in 1995. She didn't accuse him of doing it. She didn't bring it out at the time. Let me say that. She's saying that it occurred in 1995. I'm not saying she's been saying this since 1995. She said this first in 2017. Okay. And so Oprah was the executive producer on this documentary, and the creative force was Amy and Kirby, who I said. They also made a documentary in 2015 called The Hunting Ground, which was about sexual assault on college campuses. And they did something called The Invisible War back in 2012, which focused on sexual assault in the military. They have a thing for exposing what they believe to be sexual assault. And so that's interesting. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm irritated with Oprah. She's supposed to, a lot of people look up to her and they believe what she says and what she, puts out. So for her to actually be tearing down the black men, our black men, I'm perplexed at that. Like, why would you do that?
Right.
Like, let's be fair.
Right.
They aren't the only ones that are part of this Me Too movement.
Yes.
I mean, it's a whole slew of white men that have a story
she has
that's very similar
to
to that.
Yeah.
So why are you picking and choosing who you're doing this with? Why not? I mean, spread the so-called love or the shade.
The shade, right?
I don't understand. I don't understand
shine
what's
the light
behind this. Right.
Right. Yeah. There's a documentary about Harvey Weinstein that is on Hulu. That is called Mr. Untouchable. So there are documentaries out there, but there's not a lot of light brought to them. There's not a lot of big promotion.
Right.
That documentary came out in the summertime of 2019. And the producers of this piece that's talking about Russell Simmons, they are disappointed, but they say that they will survive and they will continue to go on. Oprah says she does believe the people. But for whatever reason, Apple is pulling the leash on her and saying, look, they taking the Sundance, you need to cut ties with that. And they don't really have a lot to say about that. It's very interesting. Is Oprah going to be able to rehabilitate what harm has been done to her in the wake of her recent business choices?
You mean with this incident, right? No.
And the such.
The reason why I'm asking is because you said harm. I don't think this is harm to Oprah at all.
This has not harmed the fact that people are feeling that she's targeting black men.
Yeah, but look who her audience isn't. The people who are complaining about that. You know what I mean? She's appealing to her audience, and her audience isn't us. It's not us. So the people who object to this or have an issue with it, she's not causing harm to her bread and butter. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So she's not even batting an eye at what's going on right now.
Okay, well, I think that you might be right. I think that you might be right. You're listening to the Don McKay Show here on Radio on Fire. Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about Harry and Meghan and the royal showdown and Princess Diana. After this, okay? Stay tuned. Listen to Radio on Fire. And we are back. RadioOnFire.com. Of course, I'm available on social media at The Don McKay Show, at Radio on Fire, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. As I said, at The Don McKay Show. So, Prince Harry, Meghan. You like this couple?
I didn't at first. I do now, though.
You did not at first. What didn't you like about it?
I don't know. I was just like, wow, it's so... I don't know. I mean, I'm all about black girl power. So I mean, I love that a black woman as a royal. Yes, that's something I only saw in the series. I used to watch, but so I was all for what that couple stood for.
Yeah.
But looking at them,
What do they stand for?
like,
What do they stand for?
Initially, I just see, color or ethnicity crossing barriers. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was going to be or mean or look like people are more open-minded and, just things are changing and evolving. That's what I thought.
when the couple got together, a lot of people were saying that it was signs that Britain had entered a post-racial era where skin color and family background no longer mattered, even to the royal family. That's what they thought. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Some of the stuff that we've seen on social media, some of the things that people have said prove that a lot of people, many people, are not at that point.
Yeah.
I feel that this separation, that this famous couple, I mean, he's the sixth in line to the throne. And let's talk about this throne, okay? The throne is it's a figurehead piece. I mean, they're not really in charge of anything. It's a ceremonial thing, right? I don't even understand why people get all bent out of shape about it, because it's ceremonial. You know what I mean? He ain't really going to be the king. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the king. Like, he ain't really the king. Like, he got armies and stuff, right? And it's people get bent out of shape about it. But the serious thing is the questions about the racism is what's lingering. Let's not be fooled. The reason why this couple is having a independence thing is because he don't like the way the family talks to his wife, or about his wife, who she has a white father and an African American mother, right? So they think they could talk to her any kind of way, and they have a child, right? Right. So he's like, okay, I like the fact. Now, we talked about this off air, and I think that your opinion on this has swayed a little bit, right? So it's definitely because if he was married to some white girl, this probably would not be happening, right?
Right.
Now, the fact that she was on the show called Suits. Did you know that?
No, I didn't realize
she was on Suits. And because he is supporting his wife, this makes me like, I usually didn't care about this couple, right? Now I like this couple, right?
Okay.
Because initially, like I said, it's a ceremonial thing. It's not real. It's like she was on Suits, right? That wasn't real. And this whole Prince King thing, very similar, right?
Okay.
So when they got married, it's like, okay, people getting all bent out. Ooh, the dress, the this, the that, blah. There wasn't even a lot of coverage of that on Radio on Fire, right? Wasn't a big deal to me. However, the fact that Prince Harry is saying, look, my wife's uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. We out of here. We going to hang in Canada. You can keep your money. We going to do this little ceremony stuff. But as far as money, we going to get our own money. And we independent. They put up a website, and they're posting things up on the website, and they're doing something different. Now the crown, the queen, who's like 93, something like that, she, ooh, slow down. We didn't know this was going to happen. All that kind of stuff. Now, now you want to talk. You know what I mean? Nah, Granny, save it. Right? Save it. First of all, what's really good? What happened to my mother? Right?
Right.
That, because let's understand something. The mother, which is Princess Diana, right?
Right.
His mom, that stuff is shady. Okay, real sketchy what happened with her.
Yeah.
Right? Some people feel that it was a hit, which evidence says kind of maybe, right?
Right.
Or the people, because let's say you trying to get away from paparazzi that much, you're in a car, right? So it's just like, I don't know, there's a motorcycle, and it just, I don't know. That whole situation seemed very strange. So the best thing for Harry and Meghan to do is, just separate themselves from that situation. But let's keep in mind, when Princess Diana died, she was not in England. She was somewhere else.
Right.
So they might get you in Canada too. You know what I mean? I don't know. What's going to happen with this? Are they going to stay together? Is he going to they're going to be able to weather this storm?
I think so. I think they'll be together because he's willing to do whatever it is. It seems like he's willing to whatever it is to ensure that they have a fair chance at it. So
right. I'm waiting for him to say, "I renounce my throne."
Oh, now that's what I hope.
I am no longer the Prince of Zamunda.
Oh my gosh, I hope he doesn't do that. However, if they mess with her, if they keep messing with him and still don't back off, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
he's like, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Yeah.
Leave my wife and my kid alone. I commend him for that, though. I do.
What? You commend him for what?
Being his own person. But he's always been kind of, rebellious, so to speak. He's always been that son who he's supposed to be at a royal event at 4:00 and they're looking for him and he rolls around 7 or not at all. Yeah, he's that.
He's that guy?
Son, yeah. So
I can respect that.
Surprised. Oh,
I can respect that.
I know. We know you can.
Because let's keep in mind, I hate artificial times.
Oh my gosh.
And everything about a fake crown and a fake kingdom is artificial.
Oh,
so he like, why I gotta be here for? I get there when I get there. This shit ain't real anyway. Oh man, you're listening to the Diamond K Show here at Radio on Fire. A couple of other topics I want to throw at you before we get out of here, and we're up against the clock. If you remember, back in November, MoNique prepared a lawsuit against Netflix, accusing them of discrimination. You remember that, right? MoNique coming out against Netflix after being offered less than $1 million, as opposed to her white counterpart Amy Schumer, who received $11 million. And all of the black guys who are bigger stars than her received more, and she felt that was discriminating. But of course, in the lawsuit, it just focuses on Amy Schumer. I love to talk about discrimination when it happens, but when discrimination is not happening, you know what I mean? What are you talking about? Anyway, Netflix has responded to this lawsuit, and so Netflix said that the plaintiff, talking about MoNique, fails, however, to allege any facts showing that the compensation offered to her was the product of discrimination. To the contrary, her complaint contradicts its core premise by noting that other persons of color, other women, and other African American women, like the plaintiff, have been paid substantially more money to create comedy specials for Netflix streaming service than what was offered to the plaintiff. And the plaintiff fails to explain why she was entitled to be offered what the stars to whom she compares herself were offered for creating such comedy specials. This is the point that I laid out when I talked about this. Essentially, Netflix is saying that they have evidence that they will provide that will prove that they do not discriminate against people like MoNique claims, and Netflix is asking the court to dismiss all of the comedian's claims. And a story was reported, The Blast reported that. What do you think about this? How's this look for her? How's this going to go?
MoNique should just sit down. She should just sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down. And you said this before. Just, fund your own, special.
Take it to the Sundance Film Festival. Maybe you sell it there.
I don't know about that. But film it, fund it, and sell it yourself. Then you don't have to worry about, being validated by others. That's all she wants. But she's never going to get it. I think she just needs to let it go.
All right. Last story. And that is this young jock seen driving for a ride-sharing app. And so we've talked about actors that have jobs, regular jobs, because for whatever reason. What was the actor from The Cosby Show that we talked about?
Oh my gosh!
That
what was his name? Oh God, I can't think of his real name.
Alvin. He was married to Sandra on the show,
right? His name is Alvin,
right?
On The Cosby Show, but I can't.
Right,
think
and
of his
he had a regular job. I didn't have any problem with that. Being a part of The Cosby Show and that being his main claim to fame. He was in a supporting role, so it was likely that he would have to, get back to, doing a regular job. So young jock is not an actor. Well, I guess he's a reality kind of actor. Is he still on Love and Hip Hop ATL?
Yeah,
his character
he's
still on there?
supposed to be.
Yep.
Maybe something happened.
Maybe. Okay. So anyway, he was seen driving for this ride sharing app. A woman who was the ride, she was the client. She was trying to shame him for driving her. And
she recorded it?
Yes, she did. She did.
People ain't shit. Why would she do that? That's some messed up stuff. I'm sorry. Why would she do that?
So the app. Well, first we would say the app. The app is called Pull Up and Go.
What?
Pull Up and Go.
Wait. So it's not any of the ones that are popular.
No.
It's an off-brand ride sharing.
And I think that's probably why he's trying to do it. He's like, nah, I'm gonna do one of the low key ones.
Did you see his face? So it was really him.
Oh yeah. We're gonna show that. Yes, absolutely. So young jock, he's responded to this, and he said that he's got many different streams of revenue coming in, but he noted that he was driving because he simply thought it was cool and something he wanted to check off his bucket list.
Lies.
He also said that his side hustle is a way to teach a lesson to the next generation, especially the kids that he's been working with at the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Metro Atlanta.
He's such a liar.
What? I'm not mad at him making an honest living.
You know what? The thing, I am not mad at him. I'm mad that he's trying to wrap it or disguise it under the guise of him it being on his bucket list. But who puts that on their bucket list? Just be
Young
honest.
Jock.
No, he's lying. I don't care what anybody say. He just got caught. I respect you more if you said, look, I need this money. I think he's getting ready to get married to like Kenya or something. His fiance, he proposed. We're trying to, do this wedding. I'm trying to do it big. I needed this money. I will respect that, not you trying to play it off.
I respect this. Okay, so if he was going to jail, he'd be the man, right? No. He'd be the man. He's just working a regular job.
I respect the regular job
with good hours. He can work whenever he want to work. You know what I'm saying?
But just say that. I mean, I'm just like the average Joe, and I this is one of my jobs. Not bucket list. It went too far with the bucket list. That was a bit extra. He should have just he left that off. Like, that's not believable. That's not believable. He just should have said, I got multiple streams of income. Left it at that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even have explained. He don't owe anybody any explanation.
So what would you say? It's none of your business why I'm trying to pull up.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Pull up and go. I'd have told that girl taping me, get out. Now you get out, open the door for her. I charge you extra for taping me. I didn't say you could take no pictures of me. I'm gonna have to add money to your.
He wanted to make sure he got a good tip. You need one tip on those.
I'm saying he want to go in. He might as well go all the way in. Put his pictures up in there. This is a celebrity. Pull up and go. You know what I mean? And
that's true. He could do
that.
Whole thing.
Take a picture with young jock. $15, $20 extra. You know what I mean? Whatever.
He could have somebody film
I'm so serious
and make it a reality show.
Oh, this is definitely doing the show now.
Taxi Cab Confessions. You could make it like young jock pull up and go confessions.
Yeah, or
with young jock. Yeah. There we go. Ooh, jock, call me. You know, you can get this. I can produce it. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Call me, Jack. Call me. We can make some money.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Of course, for the latest news, views, and entertainment, head on over to radioonfire.com. Of course, become a premium member, subscribe, help us keep this machine going. radioonfire.com/join. We are Radio on Fire, the voice of urban America. Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome.
I'll be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. It's the Diamond K Show, and see you guys tomorrow.